Hey guys, tell me if you can hear me. Welcome to the lesson, guys. This is impromptu, but I just want to give it a try. Let me just go get a glass of water. I'll be back. Give me 2 seconds. Hey Tim Tolle. I hear you having problems with chord changes. Well, let me help you with that. So typically when you're playing chords, you want to keep the shapes as minimal as possible, right? So when you look at my right hand, for instance, I could teach you close to 3 or 4 chords just by not moving these 2 fingers of mine at the bass right here. So when you're on the 3rd fret, you put your ring finger on the 2nd last string, your pinky on the very last string of the 3rd fret, right? Then to play the G chord, then you have your middle finger on the 3rd fret, and then your 2nd finger on the 2nd fret, 3rd string from the top, right? So they have a G here, right? If I wanted to play a C, all I have to do is move these 2 fingers I have at the top, 1 string down. Then I have this. If I want to play a E minor, then I take these 2 fingers of mine again, keep these 2 fingers at the bottom, the same place. I move them each. My index finger goes on 2nd fret, 2nd string from the top. Middle finger goes on 2nd fret, 3rd string from the top. And then you have. So I played 4 chords. but you're not really moving. So I have this. Right? Very easily, 4 chords, but I haven't moved. And let me show you this in a chart. Do, 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 do. Second. You see me? You see me? Yeah, so let me show you this in a chart. So this is the chart that I use to play my chords. So if you see what I'm doing here is that I've played the 1 chord, which is the G. It sounds like this. Play like this. Let me have it right here. Right? Let me come closer to you like this. You have the G chord like this. Right? Then you also have the C, which I told you, which is the 4 chord, right? So it's played, if you see the finger positioning here, let me actually pop that up too. Bear with me, bear with me. I got you, Tim. I'm not gonna leave you hanging. Bear with me. Okay. So what I got right, if you look at this chart, you have your thumb, which is purple. You have your index finger, which is green. You have your middle finger, which is black. You have your index finger, which is red. You have your pinky, which is blue. And remember, this chord chart is available to you. Go to my website, danielsguitarlessons.com, or if you go here to, let's see here. Sorry, I don't want to go into an infinite loop. So when you go to my website, right, you will see it right here. I'll show you, it's right here. Right here. So it's the first thing you see. Get PDF chord chart right here, and then you'll be able to do the things, right? So if we're going back to this chord chart, right, we have a G. So if you're using the finger positionings, you'll be able to play a G chord like this, the 1 chord. But what's happening, those last 2 strings are not moving at all. They're staying exactly where they are, right? So when you come to the 4 chord right here, and you play a C, right? You have this. Not moving, but you're changing chords, right? The next thing that we have is the 6th chord, which is the, I gotta collapse this guy for a second. The 6th chord, which is the E minor. You keep your 2 fingers anchored at the bottom right here. These 2 fingers are always going to be anchored. Then you play the E minor, right? And if you want to also add a 4th chord, you can play the 3, right? So the 3 chord right here is just removing your middle finger, and then you have this, right? That's the 3 chord. Nice and simple. And then you've actually played you've actually managed to play 4 chords, which are these: G, C, E minor, and then B over G. So it's the 3 chords. So 1, 4, 6, and 3. And imagine that you've actually played 4 chords out of 7 chords in a whole scale. So it's really easy, right? So that's what we got. That's what I got for you. Let me see what else is happening in the chat. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on in the chat? We live, y'all. We live. We live. We are live. So, what I wanted to teach you guys today was actually all the chords in, actually no. I had a question from, if we go back to what's happening on Facebook, right? I had a question, and yes, I am live. I had a question from Aaron. So he says that he actually is a male vocalist in the church and is stuck at the beginner level after playing guitar for 20 years. And I'm having a hard time putting both sides together, right? So putting both sides together, playing the guitar and singing a song at the exact same time. What I would actually advise for you, Aaron, in particular, is that you have to know a huge vocabulary of chords, right? Learn the chords and also learn the numbers to the chords. And I'll show you an example of how you actually do this. So give me 2 seconds. So, say for instance, right? We're in the key of, say we're in the key of C, right? For example, these are all the chords in the key of C. So you have your chord chart, all the chords in the key of C, right? So we have the C major, right? We have the A over F major, so that's right here. All of these open chords, remember, so they're easy to play. So we have this, so that is the 2 chord. Then we have the E minor, 7, right? Then we have the F. Then we have the G, which is the 5, which is this down here. Let me take you there. G, which is the 5. Then we have the A minor 7, which is the 6. And then we have the B over G, which is the 7. And then we have the C major, which is the 1, right? So when we're playing these chords, if you're trying to play a song, say for instance you're singing Yeshua, right? And you know it's in the key of C. This is what you do. So you know it's that Yeshua, right? Don't mind my voice. I'm not a singer. I play guitar, but I sing sometimes. So what we do is that we first start, I know the chords for it. It takes some time to develop the ear, but the more chords you play and the more you understand the number system, the more you'll start to realize exactly what these things are, right? So Yeshua it starts with the Yeshua. Sorry, I'm the key of C. So you start in the 4, which is the F. So Yeshua. And then the 3 is this, right? So you're playing the 4, 5, 6 to the 3, right? So you'd go from the F major to the 5, which is the G. Then you go to the 6, E minor, 7. 3 is the E minor 7th, right? And I'm just showing you guys. Nice guitar. Thank you, Tom Moore. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, sir. Let me find a way to get you on here. Mr. Tom, I appreciate you. Thanks. So, when we go back to the main screen, so if I'm in worship, right, and I know that I'm playing, so these are all my chords. C, then we have the A over the 2 chord, which is basically the A over F, which I believe is, yeah, it's the A over F. Then we have the 3, E minor 7. Then we have the 4, F. Then we have the 5, G. Then we have the A minor 7. Then we have the No one can hear me for a second? Cool. So when you internalize that, all the chords, you just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, right? You have start on the 4, then you go to the 3 E minor, right? Right? Exact same story when you're playing even in G. So let me show it to you in the key of G. So we go here. So Tom, tell me, what does WH mean? Sorry, YW mean? Tell me, I want to know. I want to know what that means. So even if you're playing it in G major, right? Same story. You just need to know the numbers. Yeshua, for the rest of time, that's why learning the number system is so pivotal. Yeshua, the 4 is always going to be, it's Yeshua, 5, 6, is the 3, right? So we got, in the key of G, we have the G is the 1, then A minor is the 2, then B over G is the 3, then C is the 4, which is over here. Then we got D is the 5, then we have E minor is the 7, then we have F sharp over D. Sorry, E minor 7 is the 6th, and then F sharp over D is the 7th, right? And then back to the 1, which is G. So same thing with this one right here. Play Yeshua, start on the 4, right? So it starts in the C, Yeshua. My bad. G is a bit of an interesting key for me. I had to find it first. So there we have those chords, right? So right? And once you get the chords internalized, you can start plucking as well. Just enjoying and just worshiping, right? Nice and simple. Nice and easy, right? So that is how you overcome that topic or that part when you're just trying to find, okay, here's my song. Instead of memorizing, it comes to a point. That's why I think it's very important when you learn the chord charts, right? It's going to be so pivotal because once you know the chord chart and you've internalized, these are my shapes. This is my do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, and the key of G is just, right? Key of C is still do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And you learn all your chords in those. So G, it's G. Then you have the 2 is the A minor. And then you have the B over G is the 3. C is the 4. D is the 5. E minor is the 7 then. Sorry. D with the F sharp of the bass is the 7 then. G is back to the 1, right? So you can play anything. Say for instance, you wanted to play, let's think of another song. Let's think of another song. Maybe you can suggest a song. Put a song in the comments and I'll try and maybe see exactly what it is that we might want to play. But I think another song that I could think of is Alpha and Omega. Alpha and Omega. Alpha and Omega is a nice one, right? So we give you all the glory. We worship you, our Lord. You are worthy to be praised, right? The key of G. I know that the song climbs because I know the numbers, right? So that song in particular, it starts on the so it's yeah. So it starts on the 4, then it goes to the 5, then it goes to the 6. So we give you all. Right? We worship you, Lord. You are I'll tell you what those numbers are. So it starts on the 4 chord, so that's the C. So it's just C, D to the 6, E minor 7. Then you go back again, just 5, D. Then you go to the 4, C, and then you can go to the 3. Glory, right? B over G. We worship. Then you go back to the 4. And then you go to the 6, C, 4, 5 to the 6, right? You are 5, 6, 7 to the 1, right? So let me play that for you so you can see my hands. So we actually it goes to, after the 4, it goes to the 2. To the Lord. 6, you are 5, 6, 7 to the 1. I play by ear typically, so I just had to figure that piece out. Right? And when you start to get from playing these, I'm just going to show you a more advanced technique of playing. I understand we're beginners, but I'm just showing you where you're headed to. If I was playing this song, typically, like maybe at church or I'm worshiping at home, it would be, let me just put this up. It would be, I played bar chords, right? And I understand a lot of people might struggle with bar chords, but this is how I'd play it, right? So I'd play it like this. I'd play. There's a diminished in there, right? Diminished is basically a passing chord. So when you have your between the 5 and the 6, there's something called a flat 6. So it goes from the 5 to the flat 6 to the 6. So it's almost like you're playing, if you're playing the scale, right, on guitar, so you'd have do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, right? But when you're playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there's a half step up, that is the flat 6. And that's the 6. So when I'm playing the 4, 5, diminished, right? And then you play the 6. 5, 4, 3. 4 to the 2. That's another way to play it too, as a bar chord. Our Lord, 1. Then you go to the 5. 6, 7 to the 1. And you're going to see me use a lot of numbers. I'm using a lot of numbers. Only reason being is because it's universal. It doesn't matter where you are. So maybe I'm playing in a C. So we give you all. Right? So you play the A minor, G, F, and then E minor. Sorry, glory goes to the 3, which is the 3, and then you go we worship 4, and then you go to the 2, worship you, to the 6, our Lord, A minor, and then you go you are G, which is the 5, 6, A minor, 7, which is the B of G, the 1, right? All numbers. So you now start to see the power of that chart. The chart is a big deal. The chart's a big deal. So let me just see what else we got here in the, who else is in the chat? Who else is in the chat? Who else is in the chat? Okay, cool. So that is basically the lesson that I wanted to share today. Literally just between G and C, you can play a lot more other things, right? Like, say you're trying to play Reckless Love in the key of G, right? It starts in the 6. So, so it starts in the E minor. Sorry, different key. Right? So it starts in the E minor. D is 5, then 4. C to the 1. I couldn't earn it, I can't deserve it. Still you give yourself away. Oh, so I played 7 there, and then 6. Overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Right? Nice and simple. So many songs. It's a whole world. And you're able to do it with just like one chord chart. You can play, I don't know how many chords and how many songs, possibly. Right? So there's so many things you could do. So I understand I've done the live. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to ask them. And also as well, the other thing is, The other thing is that remember, my course is still available. So in my course, I break down like all of these details to the T, to the T. So I have a whole bunch of details that I actually give in this course, right? And you're able to see things a bit more in detail. So let me just zoom in here. You got like 10 lessons, right? So you got 10 lessons where you learn what is it, acoustic guitar, how to hold it. How to hold it is very important because I do remember that I have one student who is recovering from a wrist injury, and actually let me shout you out right here. Let me shout you out. I remember you told me you have a wrist injury. Let me see. Brett Turner. I remember you, bro. I remember you, buddy. You have a bit of a wrist injury, so left or right, let me know in the chat, right? But it's important to know if you so if you have a wrist injury, just be careful. Take it easy, right? Take it very easy. Because one thing that you got to understand that I always teach, when you're playing acoustic guitar, always when you're playing open chords, keep a wrist which is straight, right? So the body is on your body, right? Try and sometimes sit at an angle if you need to. That's perfectly fine, but your wrist is straight. You can see my wrist here, and I'll show you. My wrist is pretty straight, right? Not bent, not slouched, not like that. Not into the guitar. It's relaxed, straight, right? So just know that, because whenever I'm playing open chords, like say if I'm playing, even if I'm strumming G3, which is the B of G, C, right? No matter what I'm doing, my wrist is straight. My wrist is straight. Always, at every single point. Right? Always straight. Put the hand over the body, bring it in close, nice and tight, have a straight wrist. Always be relaxed when you're playing guitar. Always be relaxed. Right? And just know that you can always play all the open chords, because I got like guides upon guides for open chords. So, and it's all in that, all in the course. So we have worship chords in C, we have worship chords in D, I also got worship chords in E. I also have quite a few, and I'm making more as time goes on. And I'm choosing those keys specifically because they're really nice when you play them open. Right? The key of E is really nice when you play it open. Sounds nice. Right? Let me show it to you right here. Main. So key of E is always, that's the key of E. It's the 2, open, beautiful. Right? That is the 3, and then the 4 is the A. Right? And then the 5 is the B. For the B you can play, play bar chord of B, but I'll show you a simple way to play that. And then you have, right? Then you have the 6, and then you have the 7. Then you have the 1. But I got a chart for that too, which I'll actually just show you here now. Hold me to it. It's still in production. I realize it's actually still in production. I'm still putting that together. But key of E is very open, so you can, right? Sometimes you could do that to play the 5 chord, right? And then you have the 2, 3, 4, right? 5, 6, 7, and then 1. Sometimes you can play E open like this. A lot of church going people just play E very open like this, right? So that's basically your index finger on the 7th fret, 2nd string, and then you have your ring finger. It's almost like you're playing a power chord on the 9th fret of the 3rd string from the top, and then your pinky right under that. So you have this. And you play everything because the bass is E, bottom is E, in between is E. So you just play this, right? And you have an open E chord. Sometimes is the E with the 7th in it, right? And then you play the 4, which is the A, and then 5, which is the B. You can do that, right? You could be He loves us. Oh, how He loves us. Oh, how He loves us. You can play the 6 here. Oh, how He loves. 4, 5, 6, 7. Lots of ways to put it together, right? And that is all I have for the lesson. And I just want to just say that you guys are free to check it out. As I was saying, I got a bit carried away. I just love teaching. But yeah, check out the course, y'all. Check out the course. You guys can get all these resources, all these lessons, all these guides, all these handbooks. They're all here at your disposal, right? So you're good to go. And the cool thing is that now I have the course at $20 a lesson, which is a steal. That's a steal, right? That's a steal. So $20 a lesson. I know when I used to grow up and I used to do guitar lessons, sometimes it would be, and even now, guitar lessons, people charge it like $50 an hour, which is a bit crazy, to just really learn how to play advanced guitar. But what I normally do is that I just want you guys to really learn. I want you guys to get the concepts, you guys to grow, right? So you get all of this and some. And of course, remember the discount code was DGL80. Discount. And then you apply the coupon code. And then what happens is that it will drop the price. It drops the price. Let me see. Let me go back here. Let me try that again. DGL 80 discount. Apply. It's acting very weird. Why? Maybe because I'm also on the stream too, so that's why it's acting a bit catchy. But not to worry, give me a second. There we go. Actually managed to get it to work. So it was the stream. The stream was actually too many things happening at the exact same time. So what it is that it will break it down for you. So if you're paying it over 4 weeks, it's like $50 a week, not $50 an hour, right? So you get that. And also as well, the other thing is that if you change it to be like to the next one, it changes too. So $100 every 2 weeks. It's up to you. And if you just want to pay it full on flat, it's just $200. So $20 a lesson, 10 lessons, jam packed with everything, access to the community, every single PDF that you would need, and they just keep on coming. So like, share this, subscribe this, do learn, right? And one thing that I could say, guys, is that I really love and appreciate you so much. You guys have really been a blessing. Now we are close to, how many people? We are close to... We're approximately 94 in the group, right? So 94 people in the group, so we're quite a few. So I really thank God for you, right? And keep on learning and keep on growing, and I got you. And keep on adding the things that you're struggling with, and I'll just make lessons out of them, right? And if you come out in the live, and I'll put more announcements of when the lives are happening, because I understand everyone is in a different time zone. But whenever you get a chance to hop into the live, I'm going to try and do them more often. So if you get a chance to get into the live, get onto it, interact, ask the questions. I'm struggling with this, I'm struggling with that. For example, Tim Tolle was like, I have a problem with changing chords. I just did a whole lesson right now on changing chords, right? You want to have an anchor note. You don't want to move too much, right? So that's different ways to actually do it and address it. So love you guys so much, and God bless, and stay in tune. Goodbye. Yes, when you worship, always worship in spirit and in truth. John 4:24. Now bye.